basic characteristics are the behaviors of the virtual machines and the hosts that make up this cluster. So I've got some CPU information here, I've got some memory utilization in here. These are sort of the basic views that I can see. If I want to get more complex, then I have to move into the advanced view here. And what the advanced view does is it opens up the entirety of all the different metrics. If you've played perfmon in Windows before, this is the equivalent of perfmon, except it's quite a bit more comprehensive, because instead of just giving you the performance statistics of a specific host, you're getting performance statistics across hosts and virtual machines and entire clusters, all wrapped up into one tidy package. What types of exposure that you get, so the objects that are going to be available to you are really going to be based on at what location in vCenter's little tree view there are you actually attempting to view performance. Because I've looked at the performance chart here within the cluster, the object that we're going to be looking at for performance is indeed the cluster. If I go down into the virtual machine, then that object may be the virtual machine. But I can see things like CPU information and cluster services information. I can see memory information in here, virtual machine operations. This is good to know. How often do things, different virtual machine options actually occur on those systems? If I dig over here into specific virtual machines then and take a look at performance again, I can actually pull up some more, arguably more useful information here about, again, CPU and memory utilization, but disk information and data store information and network and power and system information, these sorts of things. And you'll notice here that the objects are a bit different as well. So these are performance charts that you will probably find yourself using whenever you're out attempting to actually figure out why certain behaviors are occurring in the way that they are. There's a button down here that allows you to manage some chart settings, in other words, what sorts of selections that are there. And you can also save those chart settings if you want after you've created them. But recognize that these performance charts, they're there. They provide the level of detail that you're looking for. But as you can imagine, that's a lot of data to keep around. You know, if I'm trying to keep around what went on between 12:30 p.m. and 12:40 p.m. for the next year or more, that's arguably a ridiculous amount of data to be kept. And so what vCenter Server does with the statistics node here is it provides a way to create these roll-ups. The argument is that if I'm trying to figure out the difference between my CPU utilization from a year ago and today, I probably don't care what happened 9 months, 17 days, 4 hours, and 16 minutes ago, and 17 minutes ago. So the minute-by-minute information is less important to me when it's way far in the past than is the day-by-day information when it's way far in the past. So you can see here I have an interval duration. So for every 5 minutes of data, I keep that for a day. For every 30 minutes of data, I keep that for a week. For every 2 hours of data for a month, and for every day, I keep it for a year. So you can see that the further back I go,